first, put language into consideration. Secondly, put your proof of funds into consideration. I will come back to this. Lastly, consider where you are going to look at other factors before you start the application. Hey beautiful people, welcome back to our channel and thank you so much for joining the channel today. Guys, if this is your first time here, please do not forget to press the like button. The like button is somewhere here, then the subscribe button is somewhere here. Please those two, and share the video so that somebody somewhere can equally benefit from it. Today's video, I want to talk to those who have been asking me if they can apply for HND in Europe, to those who have been asking me if they can move abroad with HND, those who have been asking me which universities can accept their HND. Please, I will advise you to watch this video to the end, and immediately you watch this video, make sure you start the application, because these three schools, there are just three of them I'm going to be giving you. These three schools accept HND, but there are a lot of things you need to put into consideration, and I'm going to be talking about this in this video. Now, first thing first, put language into consideration. Secondly, put your proof of funds into consideration. I will come back to this. Lastly, consider where you are going to look at other factors before you start the application, because I have done the research. These schools are all located in Switzerland, and I would like to draw your attention to the fact that Swiss universities, not every Swiss university accept HND, but these universities accept HND. And again, if you are moving to Switzerland, understand that you can only start working in Switzerland when it's already 6 months. That is the law. You can only start working when you are 6 months in the country. That is when you can look for a job. So if you are looking for a country where you can go and start working immediately, avoid this country. Okay, there is also a possibility for you to start working early, but you know how we do it, right? It all involves connection and stability. But I will advise you that first, you should make this country your second choice. In case your first choice doesn't pull through, make this country your second choice. And note that Switzerland has the highest salaries in Europe. If you finally get a job after you finish your school, because of course you are going to be working 15 hours a week, and finally when you finish your studies and get a job, a full-time job, trust me, if you get a full-time job that will keep you back in Switzerland, you are lucky enough and you are going to make a lot of money. This country is heavy. Now, also understand that when you are applying to these schools, you should put into consideration that the competition is high. So you may want to focus more on your letter of explanation or your SOP, because that's the document that will make the admissions team to give you the offer. Let them see reasons why you need the admissions. Let them see reasons why they should give you the admissions. Again, remember there is an application fee you have to pay. Now let's begin with the universities. The first one is the University of Geneva. With the University of Geneva, understand that in the canton called Geneva, because in Switzerland, the language there is not English. Like they speak French, they speak German, they speak English, but not that much. They speak Romansh, and of course there is French. So now each of those cantons you are going to, there is a particular language the universities in that canton they speak. That's they will be teaching you. And again, a secret, if you finish your study program in this country, before you even go in, try to start learning a language. For a Cameroonian, it's advantage you because one of the languages in Switzerland is French. So you already have French as an advantage if you can speak French, coupled with your English. And now, if you can learn a bit of German and add it, then you are good to go. You will definitely find jobs after you graduate or before you even finish school. Also understand that there are internal, a lot of organizations in Switzerland. We already know the World Bank, the blah blah blah, UNICEF, and all the rest. They are in Geneva. So except that you are looking to work with international organizations in Geneva, then you may not need any of these other languages apart of English. But again, like I always say, having an extra language is a boost for you to get many opportunities, and that is what a lot of internationals are capitalizing on it. Trust me, if you are serious, you would always get a job. Okay, now I talked about the University of Geneva. This school will accept your HND. They accept HND, but like I told you, how you can strategize and build up your motivation letter in order. You need to tell them why they should accept you. Make sure you point out details from the university which are different from other places, or maybe things related to research in case you are a research student, which are different from other schools, or even your own school back home. Why didn't you study the program back home? Why didn't you study? Okay, there should be something you can capitalize on research that your university does not have the capacity. And do not go telling them that they don't have good lecturers. No, if you are a research student, then you should capitalize on research. Point out some particular research that you cannot do in your home country because of lack of equipment. Now you can capitalize on that, and they will actually understand, because they know our laboratories are not good. Okay, that's the first school that will accept your HND, University of Geneva. Then the second school that will accept your HND is Canton Bern. Canton Bern, the University of Bern. This school is actually open, and a lot of English programs at the University of Bern. There are a lot of English programs. They don't even need IELTS. If I'm talking to you now because I have checked. If you like, go back to the school website and verify. All right, check the English programs. And if you check the requirements very well, you will reach a section where you will see they will say that it is the student's responsibility to check the language of instruction of his or her program, because it is not the school responsibility, which means that if you are choosing an English program, you should be able to speak English, because they will not need any proficiency from you. But trust me, even if you show the proficiency, you still stand a chance. Okay, so it's so important, guys. Put all of this into consideration. Then university has a lot of English programs. Yeah, they do have a lot of English programs, and a lot of international students, when they graduate in Switzerland, most of them, they tend to look at Zurich, Geneva, Bern, and I think there is another top city. These are like the biggest cities in Switzerland. They go towards these areas to look for jobs. So if you are going towards any of these cities, or if you are studying in any of these cities, then that is advantage you. Just make sure while in school you should be taking either German or French, so that you build your proficiency. But as a Cameroonian, like I told you, you already stand a chance, okay, if you put on, and make sure you build relationships, build international connections. When you are studying in Switzerland, don't only focus your mind with your fellow Africans, okay? Try to build relationships, ask questions to them, even if it doesn't like ask question, okay? It's important. Now, the next university I want to talk about is the University of Lucerne. Lucerne, okay? It's so important. The University of Lucerne is another school that accepts HNG, and like I told you, it depends now on what you want, and make sure you check the requirements. And if you can speak to the international office before you apply, that will be excellent. This school, I think Lucerne does not accept HNG. Lucerne accept HNG. So you can speak to them and find out what they need. Remember, there are two application cycles. Late application, you will pay an extra fee, okay? Put this into consideration. Then normal application, you will also pay an application fee, but the late application will have an increase. Like if you are paying 100 Swiss francs for now, which is the normal period, after late application, you are going to pay more of this money. I hope you understand. So this is what you need to know. Then for the application for bachelor's programs, most of them are taught in the Swiss language. Like I told you already, it's either Italian, German, French, or maybe another language like Romansh. All right, so you have to put that into consideration. Most of the time you will find French, Italian, and German dominating, but again, there are cantons that you can study in English, like Bern, for example. Bern is not the only canton you can study in English. Also put this into consideration that when in Switzerland, you can equally go to other places. That's the advantage of the visa, by the way. So your visa is going to be some sort of a liberty or a passage to other EU countries or the Schengen zone. Yeah, I think though Switzerland is not a member of, it has its own group, but you can equally use the visa given to you to enter into 1 or 2 or 3. There are a lot of countries in the Schengen zone, right? So you can always go to France, Spain, Germany, when you like. It's not difficult again. With the study visa you will be given. Just make sure you do the right thing. After admissions, let me elaborate a little about how the admission process works. Basically, most of the schools in Switzerland, how it works is, you first of all go to the school website, you apply for a program, then the school is going to take some time, confirm to you, okay, then they will ask you to pay an application fee. Then some other schools, like they will ask you to send your documents to them. First of all, some will ask you to scan your documents and send to them. Some will ask you to scan copy in an envelope and mail it to them. Let them verify first. Then after verification, they will tell you what to do. They might give you the offer, they might not give you. And after that, I think they can give you what, if they give you the offer, of course, they are going to give you further instructions and tell you to send your original documents for verification. Then they will send back to you. After that, they will give you your student portals and all the rest and ask you to pay tuition fee. Then after that, you can then go for visa application. So the process for Switzerland is not that much. Just make sure after getting admission, you put the right money in your bank account. For you to study in Switzerland, you need at least 18,000 Swiss francs. I think that should be closer to like 12 million or 13 million CFA francs, like that. 18,000 Swiss francs. For what I know, it has to be in a bank that has a branch in Switzerland, but some other people say that you can put it in any account in as much as the account is yours and can be identified. I think your school would even tell you. If you doubt anything, ask your school. They can tell you how to go about it, but the money is 18,000 Swiss francs. Put this into consideration. Then after that, if you apply, I think if you do the right thing, your visa will be granted and you are good to go. But again, if you are in a rush to work in Switzerland, you cannot work after 6 months of arriving. After 6 months, you can then apply for a job and get a work permit. Otherwise, nobody will give you a work permit. Okay, except that you are doing some tumbos calabar here and there. You understand? I already know you know what I mean. So this is all you need. Till we meet again in another episode. Bye.